Ready.
Oh, crap. I need that clipboard and the phone.
I'm just going to pull the odds up here. So I'm correct in my.
Yeah.
Hey, my buddy.
Yeah.
That's Sean.
Hey, my buddy
That's
Sean, right?
Let me get Sean. Yeah.
That's our buddy
Right on.
Sean. Right on, buddy Sean.
All right, we have Sean in here now.
All right.
By the way, Tabia and Cyberknife are going to be in a rematch Saturday of the Kentucky Derby.
We're 2 minutes out, guys. 2 minutes.
All right, we are live on YouTube. So if anyone is here on YouTube already, we're just doing a little pre-production.
Our show, by the way, Christian and Rocky, getting a really impressive amount of regular viewers.
Yeah.
It's like
Yes.
1,000. It's like 1,000 to 1,500 to 1,800 that watch this show every week.
Yeah. I'm getting a lot more hits
happy.
on my PM's Facebook. A lot more people calling me for my picks of the week. You know, I try to find one, blowout. One team that's just a mismatch, and we're doing okay. So more people are logging on, more people PMing me. So we're hoping to get more hits on that also. So, everybody tune in for our picks, and if you have any doubts, private message us, and we'll give them to you.
I was doing so well in the preseason and then the first week of the NFL.
1 minute.
And last week was just a bloodbath for me.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, I tell you, Lou, I went through a couple of years of trying teasers and parlays because it seems like such locks, and it never turned out.
Oh, no. That's not what I lost on.
Oh.
It was, see, the way I build bets. Oh, Rocky, I can't hear you.
I'm not talking.
30 seconds.
You don't hear me now? You do not hear me, Christian?
Yeah,
We're
all
doing
good.
this then.
Am I muted?
Okay. We're good.
No, you're
Here
fine.
we go.
All right, here we go. Disclaimer incoming.
The following is a paid program. Views and claims expressed are those of the program producer and are not endorsed by this station. Opinions expressed are not necessarily those of radio station KMET, its management, employees, or affiliates.
They might be.
What's happening, football fans? It is time to steer the line. Touchdown! With your host, Loud Esmond and Jeremy James. For the best takes, NFL and football betting, fantasy football, and the latest news, get ready to steer the line.
We steer.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to another segment of Steer the Line. Again, Jeremy's not here, so I am your host today, Christian Giordani. Below me is my father, Rocky Giordani. And then we have Mr. Loud Esmond here, our sports prognosticator. How are you guys doing this week?
Looking good. Feeling good. I'm good. Lou, how you doing, buddy?
I'm great.
Doing well. I got to do better than last week. Last week was horrible.
Yeah.
This
For
is
those of you wondering what I'm wearing around my neck, it is Morongo Powwow this weekend. I am a proud Native American, so is my father. These are the word beads I've had since a kid. So for those of you wondering, this is what it is. Now let's get on football.
Who gave you those war beads?
That man.
His war daddy. His war daddy
So,
gave those war beads.
Yeah. We're gonna do
Let's
war
get on
on some
football.
Indians. We're gonna do war on some Indian tacos later, man. It's Indian taco, Lou.
Oh, well,
It's
there
a
you
piece
go.
of fry bread about this big with beans and ground beef and lettuce and you flip it over and it's like a taco this big made of fry bread. They're amazing. They're great.
That sounds delicious. By the way, Christian, Scott at Winners and Winers finally got back to us now that we're on the air using OBS, which, by the way, is a perfect acronym for any show involving me. OBS.
Yeah.
And they want to know what email account we use for our StreamYard account. So after the show, answer that question for me in a text, and they'll get us fixed. Is what
Is that
they're
your
saying.
email, Christian? I can send it to him right now.
Yeah.
Huh?
No, we can do that later. Anyways,
Okay, do it later.
on to football, Loud.
And by the way, I have war beads too, except in my religion we call it the rosary. So
Right.
there you go. Just
I thought they
throwing
were
it
the
out
war
there.
beads on a string.
Yeah, I had a horrible week last week. It's rare that I basically lose every single ticket that I put up, but I did. So just man, it happens though, right,
It happens.
Rocky? I mean,
there are going to be weeks like that. You know, you have to know. You have
Mama
to
said,
spread your money around and make
Mama
sure you
said
don't
there'd
get
be
hurt.
weeks like that. There'd be weeks like that. Mama said, just throwing
Mama
it out
said
there.
there'd be weeks like that. My mama said. Yeah, it was Diana Ross.
But I'm bouncing back this week, and I have a bunch of money line bets that I really like, and then I've stacked them all into a parlay bet that I think is pretty awesome. So there's that also. There are several teams that are 0-2 right now in the NFL. Those teams are the Tennessee Titans, the Raiders, the Bengals, my sneaky Super Bowl pick, the Panthers, who I thought would be a lot better with Baker Mayfield, and the Falcons that everybody sort of expected to suck. Christian, you're the numbers guy. What is the percentage chance of an NFL team making the playoffs if they open the season?
Percentage, I don't know. But in the past 50 years, almost the entire NFL history since the merger, only 2 teams that started 0-2 in the season have made it into the playoffs.
Yeah.
0-3, you mean?
0-2.
0-2.
No. There's been lots of 0-2 teams that have made the playoffs. 0-3 teams, it's 3%. If you open the NFL season 0-3,
Christian, when was the last time 0-2 team made
there's
the
a
playoffs?
3% chance you make the playoffs.
When was
You
last
have
time?
11.3% making chance on the 0-2 playoffs. Last time,
In the 90s, right?
1990.
In the 90s, you're right. Last time a team 0-2 made the playoffs, Lou, was 32 years ago. So you might as well say never. Right.
Well, 0-3, it's even more never. It's 3%.
Yeah.
So here's my question.
Who goes 0-3?
Titans, Raiders, Bengals, Panthers, Falcons. At the end of this weekend, what of those 0-2 teams are 0-3 and basically eliminated?
Yeah, well, the Panthers defense hasn't showed up. They have 0 takeaways. And that has a lot to do with.
Would you like to know who the Panthers play this weekend?
Sure. Who they play?
The Saints.
Yeah.
The Saints are at Carolina.
Right, and the Saints, Jameis Winston is probable, questionable. Jameis, or whatever, dude. You know, Jemima. Yeah, he's
Jemima's Winston.
He always does that.
Makes incredible pancakes.
Good for the record, it's all. Yeah, they are. Nancy Green was that lady's name, by the way, and she has faded into oblivion now because of the woke left. We can't know who Aunt Jemima really was.
Right.
A success story. So I think Carolina stays at 0-3. I think
let's go straight to the Panthers and the Saints.
I say the Saints win. Carolina stays at 0-3. I don't like them. Their defense,
especially with Christian McCaffrey questionable.
No
I have the Saints.
Yeah. And by the way,
the Falcons.
Go ahead. Yeah.
The Falcons are at the Seahawks. Are the Falcons 0-3 Monday morning?
Yes.
I don't know about that one yet, but yeah, we'll go yes for now because we'll see.
The The Bengals are at the mighty, mighty Jets. Christian.
I have the Bengals losing this game as well.
Where are the Bengals? Where are they playing?
The Jets.
To the Jets?
Stadium.
Oh, to the Jets.
Yeah.
No way.
They're
No
playing
way.
the Jets in New York.
No way they lose to the Jets. There's no way. Flacco had a good game. I don't think he can put two together. I cannot
great game.
Yeah, I cannot see
great fourth quarter, actually.
The Bengals losing 3 in a row and ever to the Jets. I don't see it happening. Bengals bounce back. They're probably the first team in 32 years to make the playoffs, starting out 0-2. If any of these teams do, it'll be the Bengals.
And the Titans and the Raiders play each other.
Man, this is a tough one.
In Tennessee.
I'm sorry, Lou. I'm going to go with the Titans in this one because they're at home. Oh, because they're at home. And by the way, one of the Raiders receivers didn't even make the flight. They left him home.
Oh, no. It gets worse.
Yeah.
Hunter Renfrow is out.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Josh Jacobs, the starting running back, is out due to the stomach flu. He came up with an illness this morning and will not be on the team charter flight today.
Wow. That's the guy.
Denzel Perryman, their middle linebacker, is out. Their starting safety, Trevon Moehrig, is still out. And they're down 2 offensive linemen and 2 quarterbacks.
Right. Yeah. It's going to be a tough one. Now, Christian, did you say they were going to pull Tannehill this week in favor?
Now, as of right now, it's a discussion with the coaching staff whether Tannehill and Malik Willis will get the start in week 3. The day after the Monday Night Football game, I believe, they said Malik was going to get the start, and then they pulled out saying it's going to be a competition this week during practice. Yeah. And now it looks like they're going to split time evenly this game.
Okay. Tannehill starts, they win that game. Tannehill does not start, Raiders defense could come
It's
through.
debatable, yeah.
The Raiders lose.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm a Raiders fan.
I know you are. I'm really sorry, Lou. Nobody saw that.
But no, the Raiders suck in early games back east. They stink. And right now, the Raiders are finding ways to lose.
Really?
Ooh, that
there are
Cardinals
teams
game,
that find ways to win, and there are teams that find ways to lose. And the most frustrating thing last week, watching Arizona come back on the Raiders when they were down 20-3, was the coach of the Arizona Cardinals when he was down 17 points. There's a bounce in his step. He's calling plays. Kyler Murray's running around. There's energy on their sideline. They're making adjustments. They're changing the way they're doing things. And Josh McDaniels is on the Raiders sidelines looking confused. Yeah. There's no energy on the Raiders sideline. There's no defensive adjustments being made. It was a total effing disaster. And then even when a miraculous defensive play was made to stop the Cardinals from getting into scoring position, because if that backup safety doesn't break up that pass, Arizona's in field goal range and the game is over. And then when all they had to do was gain like another 5 yards, McDaniels doesn't run the ball. He passes it. It's incomplete. He throws it again to Hunter Renfrow, who gets hit, fumbles the ball, touchdown, game over. Yeah. That was about as bad a coaching exhibition as the Denver coach asking to kick a 64-yard field goal with 50 seconds left and 2 timeouts when he has a $245 million quarterback.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I am rapidly losing faith that Josh McDaniels is a head coach.
Well, he's a head coach this year, that's for sure. What happens after this year? Man, I cannot imagine there not being a mix-up if they start 0-3. So this is like everybody's job's on the line this week. The Raiders are going to come out punching people in the mouth. It's going to be a tough game. I just don't, it's a low spread, and I just don't see them going on the road to Tennessee and winning with all the injuries you mentioned.
Yeah, all of the
I can't see that defense holding Derrick Henry.
everything.
Tennessee didn't show up either last week. They played terrible, but a lot of road teams.
Yeah, Tennessee. Well, Tennessee got blown out by the Bills, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And everybody's going to get blown out by the Bills. And Tennessee tied Houston in the first game. Houston's better than people think.
Tennessee's 0-2.
They lost to Houston?
Yeah,
that's right. Sorry, they lost. Yeah. No, I'm sorry. It was the Colts that tied.
The Colts. The Colts. Yeah. Titans played the Vikings.
Right. It was Tennessee. Somebody came back on Tennessee in the first week and beat it. It was the Giants. The Giants beat Tennessee in Tennessee.
Yeah, Tennessee beat the Vikings, right, this week? Vikings are a terrible road team. The Vikings beat whatever. Anyway, the Raiders Tennessee game is going to be the
Raiders will be 0-3. Tennessee will be 1-2. The Bengals will be 1-2. The Panthers, I'll hold that pick for our super dogs, for our underdogs segment. All right, Christian, you're producing the show. What's our next topic?
So as of right now, my biggest thing is what's the biggest mismatch coming in this week? Me and my dad talked about this earlier today about what's going to be the biggest blowout in the sense of the term. And Rocky,
if you had to pick one team to bet, if you had to pick one team to bet, I think Lou and I are going to be of like mind this week. I can't see anybody missing this one. Lou, go ahead. Who's your mismatch? And I bet we picked the same team.
Chiefs.
Yeah.
Chiefs at the Colts. The Colts are awful.
There are so many things wrong.
That line was 6.5 on Monday, and I'm like, oh my God, that'll be 11 by game time. Let me jump on it. It moved to 5.5.
Yeah.
Who the hell is betting on the Colts?
Everybody in Indianapolis, I guess. I have no idea, but there are so many things wrong with that Colts team. We saw it in the first week. They're not supposed to look that bad against Houston, for starters. It was everything that could have gone wrong did. The guy was showing 5-yard interceptions on a lob. I mean, it was disgusting. It was stupid. I have no idea what's going on in Indianapolis, but there's so many things wrong with that team. I can't even begin to put my finger on it. I have no idea why this is under a touchdown, but I expect Kansas City to blow them out.
The scary thing is when a line looks obviously wrong.
Snake bite.
Usually the book knows something.
Yeah, there's a snake bite coming. Well, not this week.
So it looks obvious, Christian.
Yep.
Kansas City, obvious, right?
Yeah, Kansas City.
They're going to crush the Colts.
They're going to crush them. My other pick for a mismatch is the Ravens and the Patriots. I think the Ravens are just going to stomp all over them this game. Lamar's going to, shrug off what happened in week 2 and just kill them this year.
Yeah, well, listen, what happened in week 2, I don't think had anything to do with Lamar, with Jackson or his play. He's coming into a contract year. I expect him to flex his muscles as much as he can in New England. I don't expect much of a game there either. You know what? Another team. Go ahead, Christian. I think we're all of like mind. I think Kansas City looks like the best. That's why they play the game, though, right, Lou? I mean, anything can happen.
Yeah.
Well, and here's the other one. Here's the other one. I did the Winners and Whiners main football show last week, and in that show, you pick every game. And they came to me on the Buffalo game, and they said, okay, Buffalo minus 9.5. Lou, what's your pick? And I said, Buffalo minus whatever. I don't care what the line is on this game. Buffalo minus whatever against the Titans. And everybody kind of laughed at me. They're like, oh, come on, you're going to draw a line. I said, you know what? If it was 20, I'd take Buffalo. And that's a huge spread in an NFL game. And sure enough, damn it, I was right. I know the Dolphins came back and won last week, and thank God, because Tyreek Hill is on my fantasy football team, and he basically won the week for me, thank God. But they were down going into the fourth quarter, 2 touchdowns. And Baltimore basically stopped playing defense. Buffalo's not going to do that. That line, what, Christian, what's the Buffalo-Miami line right now?
6.
4.5, something like that?
5.5.
6? 5.5.
Yes. It moved from 6.5
I
to
think that's
5.5.
insane. All Buffalo has done is run the Super Bowl champion from last year in their house and then hung 41 points on the Titans. What makes anybody think Miami is going to hang with the Bills? I don't see it. This is my other blowout. I think the Bills 35-14. 35-13.
The reason why people think Miami can keep up with the Bills is because in reality, first of all, I don't know if you've ever been to Miami in September. It's going to be 100 degrees and really humid. Okay, I'm telling you, Buffalo is going to come into a weather condition that they're really not acclimated to, for number one. The most important thing that Miami would have to do to keep up with Buffalo this game would be take away Stephon Diggs. They've got a cornerback that might be able to do that. Xavier, I'm not going to try to pronounce his name, okay? But I believe they have one quarterback that can do that.
I have the pronunciation for you.
Go ahead. And
it's
Miami,
Xavier.
right. No. Miami
There
has 2 receivers that run 4.2 40s. You know, I'm going to tell you something. If Miami runs the ball, and if they get any kind of running game at all, I'm going to take Miami in the 6 points at home. I'll take the Fish in 6 points against anybody at home, including the Bills. And that's why I believe that's the thinking and why the spread is so low, Lou. There's only a few things that they have to do to stay in this game, but they have to run the ball. And they've got a pretty good running back. They got a damn good running back, you know. If he shows up, they've got 2 wide receivers that run 4.2 40s. It's going to be tough. Buffalo's defense hasn't been tested quite like this yet.
Yeah.
You know, I wish this game was in week 6. I wish this game.
The Rams.
I wish this game was in week 6, not week 3.
All right. Well, no. Stop.
Go ahead.
Stop it.
Go ahead.
Christian, who's a better team, the Rams or the Dolphins?
The Rams are a better team, but the Dolphins have better receivers than the Rams.
If the Rams were going to the Dolphins this week and giving them 6 points, I would take the Dolphins. I don't know. I mean, I'll take the Dolphins at home and 6 against anybody.
Let me take a step back. Try to actually add logic into the conversation.
Right.
Christian, who is a better team, the Rams or the Dolphins?
Right now, they have the same record.
No, they don't. Dolphins are 2-0.
Oh, Dolphins are 2-0.
Christian,
I'm obviously going to say the Rams because I'm a Rams. The Rams are more well-rounded.
Rocky, who's a better team, the Rams or the Dolphins?
This week, in week 3, I have to say the Dolphins. At home. Now they're playing in SoFi, that might be different. But Miami's at home. If the Rams go to Miami in September, I'm going to take Miami. There you go. Well, you asked and answered. Next problem. Next question, Your Honor.
The Rams are a much better football team.
Mm-hmm.
Better coach.
No doubt. No doubt.
Better weapons.
Yep.
Better defense.
Better defense.
Than the Miami Dolphins.
Miami got a pretty good defense.
Buffalo Bills blew the Los Angeles Rams at home off the field. Now, you are counting on weather conditions.
Home field.
It's going to be
Home field
hot. It's going to be hot. Therefore, they can't play. The Buffalo Bills
I
will
didn't say
think
I
because it's
said they
humid.
couldn't play. You asked me why the line was under a touchdown. I was trying to give you a reason for
You're
it.
giving me the reason you're saying the Dolphins can hang with the Bills is you're saying because it's hot and humid in Miami.
Well, that's home field. That's called
I'm
home field advantage.
sorry.
I'm giving them home field advantage.
They're professional athletes, for God's sake.
Yes, they are.
They could play in Siberia. They could play at the fucking
Yeah, okay, ready to
equator.
go, Lou. I pried one out of him. Yeah, I got you, baby. I
Sorry,
pried one
John.
out of him. Got him to say it. I got him to drop one. Got him to drop one bomb. Way to go, Rock. Listen,
Damn it!
I know. Listen, I'm gonna tell you something. That's a
Might
really
as
pretty
well
good
get them
barometer.
all out now.
It's a pretty good barometer when a Bills team beats the champions. It's a pretty good barometer. I agree. And I wish this game was in week 6. We'd have a much better feel for how it was going to go. But it's in week 3. And in week 3, I'm not so convinced that everybody is unbeatable. You know, there really is a home field advantage in some parks. Arrowhead Stadium, home field advantage is very tough. Seattle has a pretty tough stadium to win in. Miami is an extremely tough stadium to win in September. You know, so I'm sure that anyway, all those things probably play into why the spread is so low. You know, there you go.
I think people are completely overreading the Dolphins scoring 42 points on the Ravens because just follow me here. First quarter, 7-0 Baltimore. Second quarter, 28-7 Baltimore. Third quarter, 35-7 Baltimore.
Fourth quarter.
And then the Dolphins score 28 points in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Come on.
Well,
that's not going to happen against the Bills. Just not. Stupid.
Tua is the leading pass leader
give
and
me-
the touchdown leader.
well, let's just crown the Bills.
I
Let's just give the
understand.
Bills a Super Bowl ring and forget the rest of the season. But I think I'm pretty sure everybody
Oh,
says
speaking of
you have to
which,
play the game.
Speaking of which, in the AFC, there are 2 teams that could win the AFC championship. Name them, Christian.
In the
Actually,
AFC,
there are 3, but go ahead and name the obvious 2.
There are 2.
for me, it's the Bills and the Ravens.
Bills and the Chiefs.
Bills
Yep.
and Chiefs, yes.
Well, I'm gonna throw
It'll be
San
the
Diego
Bills
in
and
there.
the Chiefs, and I believe it'll be
yeah.
the Bills this time.
Yeah, I don't think the Chiefs are ever going to
And the crazy thing is, in the AFC, you have the Bills that are, here, and you have the Chiefs that are here, and then you have 17 piles of crap.
I don't think the Chargers are.
And
crap.
then-
I think the Chargers are going to be a much better team.
No, I do. No, you know why the Chargers are crap? Because their coaching sucks.
1 minute. 1 minute.
All
Pick
right,
of the week.
Christian, you gotta transition us. Christian, you gotta transition us so
All
everybody
right.
knows where we're going. Effing,
All
where
right,
we're
everyone.
effing going.
Where we're
I'm
effing
sorry,
going.
Sean.
All right, everyone here listening to us on the radio at KMET 1490 AM. If you want to continue listening to Steer the Line, hop over to our YouTube channel at Steer the Line, exactly how it sounds. We will be live all the way until 6 p.m. Pacific time. Thank you guys very much for listening, and I hope we see you in the second half hour.
We're going to try to pry another F-bomb out of Lou. Loud.
F you.
Anyway, so now we are on Steer the Line on YouTube. Welcome, everybody. Christian, just a quick recap of the last half hour. Why don't you tell us what went on?
So in the last half hour, we talked about a little bit of recap of week 2, our biggest mismatch coming into next week. We all agreed it's going to be the Chiefs and the Colts this week in week 3. And now we're going to step into our biggest underdog for week 3. And Loud, I know this is what you wanted to talk a lot about.
I sent Sean the underdog theme Rocky, you remember Underdog?
Yes.
The cartoon?
You can't remember Underdog?
Underdog.
The theme song. You mean the theme song?
Yeah, I sent it to Sean,
okay.
and
We're gonna put it
Christian, we were
next
supposed
week.
to do that in the first half hour so he could. Never mind.
Hit it.
Anyway, all right. Let's go to our biggest underdog picks. Rocky, you know, grow a set here. Don't go with some 2.5 point, 3.5 point. Give me a big freaking Rocky length underdog.
The Miami Dolphins. I'm taking the fish and 6 points at home against the Bills. They're going to cover. Now, listen, I'm not saying Miami's going to win that game, but they're going to cover that 6 point spread.
No. Let me set the ground rules.
Go ahead.
The underdog prediction is a dog that is going to win. No points.
Cowboys underdog going to win. I think Detroit Lions.
How many points are they? How many points are the Cowboys a dog?
1 point.
The Cowboys.
Oh, okay.
There are no really big.
Wow.
There are no really big spreads this week. I'll tell you who else might win. And I'm gonna tell you, we're gonna find out right now. I kind of wish Jeremy was here because we've had this conversation about Jalen Hurts. Now, by all accounts, after 2 weeks, Jalen Hurts looks great. But who has he played? He played. They beat Detroit by three, less than a field goal.
3
And
points.
Detroit came roaring back on them and almost
Then
won.
they got the very worst traveling team in the NFC. They got the Minnesota Vikings. The worst traveling team. There is no worse team on the road than the Vikings. Okay? So I think the Commanders are going to cover that spread. That's another 6 point spread, a big one. And I think the Commanders are being very underrated, and I think they're gonna make this a much closer game. And we might expose Jalen Hurts for who he ain't.
For who
How's
we
that?
ain't.
Does that
All right.
does that
I
kind
will
of
have
bigger
to
dog?
disagree.
That a big enough dog for you? Washington.
That's a big dog.
Yeah.
Let the
Big
big
dog,
dog
baby.
eat.
I would have to disagree. I think
Christian,
Jalen
who's
Hurts
your
is going to
dog?
stomp over Commanders. But my biggest mismatch, my biggest underdog going in this week.
No, not mismatch.
I'm
Dog.
sorry, underdog. Too young to know that show, but I remember the movie on Disney. Is the Jets, or the New York Jets.
Oh,
I think the Jets and Joe Flacco are going to surprise a lot of people this week.
you gonna bet against Joe?
I
know,
love
he's
Joe
your boy.
Burrow. Joe Shiesty
Wow,
is my
man.
dude. Joe
Have
Shiesty
faith.
is my dude.
Gotta have faith. Listen,
But
let me.
that Bengals O-line is terrible. And even when Joe Burrow has time, he holds the ball for an average of 3.5 seconds. That is way too much for an NFL quarterback, especially with arguably the worst offensive line in NFL history.
Let's get to that next, but holding the ball too long. But right now, I want to guarantee you something. What you just did was you just guaranteed Joe Burrow a big win, because I promise you, no matter what you say, the green slime will stab you in the back. You're never gonna win picking the green slime. Win or lose, leave him alone. Don't want nothing to do with it. Joe Burrow gonna kill him. Lou, there's another pair
Loud
of
has been your pick.
Yeah, no. I'm going Lions to beat the Vikings.
There you go. I like that.
I do.
You like that?
Vikings be much
You like
better at home.
that?
I like that. Vikings will be much better this week at home. But Detroit's ankle biters, man. That'd be good. That'd be a fun game.
The Detroit Lions are scoring the third most points in the NFL.
I know.
At 32 points a game.
And I told you they were going to snake bite somebody last
Yeah.
week. Nobody listened to me. And I told you they were going to snake bite somebody last week. And they did. And by the way, Lou, I haven't mentioned that steak dinner, and I'm not going to bring it up.
You don't have to.
Okay, good. But anyway, I did.
You
pick
like
the
to
Bucs
stare
last week.
right.
Let's talk about the big game. The Bucs and the Buccaneers and the Green Bay Packers, Christian. That's the big game this week, right there.
Yeah, that's the biggest game this week. Yeah, everyone's gonna be watching that game this week.
Who do you like?
I like the
Bucs-
Bucs a lot in this game, even without Mike Evans.
1 point spread, Lou. What is it? 1.5. The Bucs at home.
One.
One.
Yeah. Who do you like, Lou? Yeah,
Tom Brady.
okay, there you go. All right, we agree. They're at home, and their defense has been taking the ball away. Aaron Rodgers is having trouble finding guys to throw to. Aaron Rodgers has been holding the ball for over 3.5 seconds on almost every reception. He's not going to have that kind of time this week. They're going to be all over him.
Yeah.
I like the Bucs at home too.
I have a 4-team parlay that I love, and we've already hit the first two. Titans, even though they're plus 2.5, I'm just taking them on the money line to beat the Raiders.
Right.
The second leg is Buccaneers to beat the Packers. I don't care how beat up Tampa Bay is. Aaron Rodgers is a man bun wearing POS, and he's not really interested in winning. He's interested in lots of things. He
DMT.
majors in get paid
Yeah, I think
and not getting hit. Tom Brady is psychotic about winning.
Yeah.
And, everybody's saying he doesn't have any receivers and the offensive line sucks and blah, blah, blah. Well, guess what? He's got the number 3 or 4 defense in the NFL.
Yep.
And they brought in Cole Beasley, and he turned Julian Edelman and several other nothing receivers into all-stars.
Hall of Famers, questionably.
Yeah, almost Hall of Famers. If you ask me, who do I trust to win one game? Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers? There's no question in my mind. It's Tom Brady.
It's kind of weird to hear Lou giving Tom Brady props.
I know, right?
Things are weird today. Betting against the Raiders and liking Tom Brady. Listen, I think the biggest key to that to the Bucs win is Lombardi Leonard. But they've got another running back, Rachaad White, who they drafted to take some of the load off of Leo. And I think between those two running backs, we're going to see a two-headed snake. Brady's going to throw the West Coast offense, a lot of short passes, but he does have one receiver. He still has one receiver that he can go deep with, and he has and he will. But they're going to keep Aaron Rodgers off the field. They're going to run the ball very effectively with Rachaad White and Lombardi Leo, and then he'll go deep. He'll go deep twice a quarter, and you know what I mean. It's going to be exciting, but the defense is going to keep Aaron Rodgers out of it. The Bucs defense are going to dominate.
Aaron Rodgers will be sacked 6 times.
Whoa! From your lips to God's ears.
Whoa.
Wouldn't that be great? I'd love to see that.
That's a big number. 6 times.
Yeah, he's going to be sacked 6 times.
He has the Bengals offensive line.
So we think how many teams are 3-0 after this? Lou likes the Bills and the Bucs to go 3-0.
Yep.
Anybody else?
I agree with that.
The Chiefs, Bills, Bucs.
Yep.
All 3-0. Wow, sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
So Miami will not be.
Okay, so let's go to the third leg of my parlay card.
All right.
Rams minus 3.5 Cardinals.
Love it. I love that game.
Yeah.
Love that game.
Yeah, I love that game too. I think Aaron Donald's going to come out with a lot of anger and a lot of pressure. In the first time in his career, last week, he did not have a single quarterback pressure. And I know he's been hearing that on Twitter and all on social media from all the talking heads, including us.
He's too old now.
And I think
Yeah,
and I think he's just going to go out there and tear up Kyler Murray. In his career, Aaron Donald has the most sacks against any team is the Cardinals. And I think he's just going to kill them.
Yeah. Yeah, he matched up really well against their offensive line. Another problem with the Cardinals is that Kyler Murray and the Cardinals have played the Rams very tough in the past. And then they caught them in the playoffs, and the Rams showed them who the Rams are now and what they think of the Cardinals. I don't think the Cardinals ever win this game ever again.
And basically the Rams said,
I was there at that
Who's
game.
your
That game
daddy?
was insane.
Yeah, I think they sweep the Cardinals this year, both in Arizona this week and then at home later in the year.
My final leg of my 4-team NFL parlay involves a team that this week did addition by subtraction. Rocky, what is addition by subtraction, and who could I be talking about?
Well, I have no idea, Lou, who your fourth pick is. Addition by subtraction, I have no idea how that would help anybody. Go ahead, Lou. School us.
Well, in other words, sometimes there's a guy in your platoon that is such a weak link that you're better fragging him
right
than letting him remain in the platoon.
Yeah. San Francisco.
Trey Lance
San Francisco
has been eliminated for the season. And the
got
49ers are the damn luckiest freaking franchise
in
the NFL that nobody took Jimmy G.
Yeah.
And now Jimmy Garoppolo, who has won 70% of the games that he has started for the 49ers, comes back to the team as the quarterback. Oh, and guess who else is coming back to play this weekend? George Kittle!
Oh, Kittle's back. That's right. Yeah. Kittle's back with no reservations, no questions.
100%. No reservations.
He's 100%.
Anthony Bourdain. And by the way, who are they playing?
Your buddy
the
Russell.
Denver freaking Jokers. I mean, oh my God. If there's a team that is in more trouble than the Raiders,
it's the Denver Broncos.
It's the Denver freaking Broncos.
Because they
Russell Wilson does not have the mobility he used to have.
No.
And they've paid him $245.
I don't even want to give him. Russell Wilson is arguably right now the worst passer in the NFL.
Well, I think a lot of it has to do with the game plan and the coaching. And Russell Wilson just going, look, I got my money. You want me to sit on this ball and go ahead and kick a 150-yard field goal? I'll sit on the ball. He don't care. Russell Wilson's past caring. He got his paycheck. He's Aaron Rodgers 2.0.
So the 49ers are actually just minus 122 to beat the Broncos. I think they're going to beat the brakes off the Broncos. So here's my
it's only one
4-team at what?
It's only a 1-point spread. Forget the money.
It was.
Give up don't buy the point. I wouldn't buy the point.
No, I'm not either. I'm taking the 49ers to win at minus 122. So Titans to win Raiders, Buccaneers to win Packers, Rams minus the points Cardinals, because if you don't take the points, the Rams are minus 175 to 215.
Yeah.
Which really hurts your odds on the card. And the 49ers to win. So basically, I'm going Titans over Raiders, Buccaneers over Packers, Rams over Cardinals, 49ers over Broncos. And that ticket, let me just take a quick look at it. A $100 bet is going to pay me back $950 if I'm right.
Now, Lou, the most telling thing that I think I heard was you said that San Francisco is now a 20-cent line. You bet 120 to bet 100. Is that right?
Minus 122 is when I got it.
My gosh, that's incredible. Well, that tells you right there that Las Vegas knows what's going to happen, and they're just going to survive on the vig on this one. Yeah. So obviously, the 1 point is meaningless. They expect San Francisco to blow the brakes off of Denver. That's going to happen. It's going to happen. And they're trying to 26. They're trying to
talk a little college football for just a second.
Go ahead.
Sure, go ahead.
USC -6.
Hoorah!
Speaking of the Pac 12, 10, 5, 4, 6, whatever it's going to be.
Yeah.
Michigan State came in to play the Washington Huskies last Saturday night.
Right.
And I was on the record saying, man, I hate betting on West Coast teams against Midwest and Southern teams because the Pac-12 and the MAC and the SWAC, they just don't generally do well against those conferences. I had not seen the Washington Huskies play because they play so late and there were other games that I was interested in. So I told everybody, oh my God, Washington Huskies, it's an illusion. I know they're favored in this game. Take Michigan State in the points. And then the Washington Huskies ran Michigan State 39-28, and it only was that close because of a couple of garbage time scores by Michigan State. So either the Washington Huskies, with all their transfers from all over the country, are a lot better than we think, or Michigan State sucks. And I'm not going to ask anybody to answer that because we're not going to know. But what makes this interesting is the Minnesota Golden Gophers, I said last week, they were number 1 and number 1 offense and defense in the NCAA football, and I took them to win big last week, and they did. Now, Minnesota goes to Michigan State tomorrow, and that spread is 6.5, which seems mighty small given that Michigan State got blown out by the Huskies, and Minnesota has been crushing everybody. The other interesting game to me, Florida at Gators at Tennessee, and then Arkansas at Texas A&M. Arkansas is my dark horse to make the college playoff. That quarterback at 6'6", 240 pounds, huge offensive line. They're running people.
I like Texas A&M in that game.
So
I like Texas A&M in that game. I like Texas A&M against Arkansas.
Against Arkansas, why?
But listen, here's the most important thing that happened this week in college football. Lou, the USC Trojans are -6 over the Oregon State Beavers, okay? There has been more.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, wait.
Favored by 40.
There's been more money come in, more bets made on the Oregon State Beavers this week than there has been in all of the NFL teams put together this whole season.
Why?
You tell me why. But boy, if that doesn't make this game a little bit more interesting than it sounds, I mean, everybody's betting on Oregon State. No clue why. They're +6 points. USC should cover that easily. But the fact that more money has come in on Oregon State this week than any NFL teams so far tells me that somebody's a fan. What's going up on your neck of the woods, Lou? Up there loud up in Washington and Seattle area. I mean, the Oregon area. I don't know, man. But I like USC in that game. But, man, a lot of money coming in on Oregon State. Crazy. That's crazy, isn't it?
That's kind of crazy. Yeah, it is. You know, here's a question. The AFC South, Christian, how bad is that? How bad is that division, AFC South? Isn't that Colts, Panthers?
Yeah. I would say it's arguably one of the...
that's the NFC South, the Panthers. The Colts, Jaguars, Titans. What about the Jaguars at San Diego? What do you think?
They're 1-1. I still like San Diego in that game.
Yeah. 3 points. 2.5, 3 points. I like San Diego.
Yeah, that's one of the worst.
San Diego. They're Los Angeles.
Worst divisions in football.
Yeah. No doubt.
You know, the crazy thing is if you look at the AFC, I think there's two teams that can go to the Super Bowl. The Bills or the Chiefs. In the NFC, who the hell knows, right?
Yeah, it's a dogfight in the NFC.
Well, it looks like Tampa Bay and the Rams still. Nobody's really come on to do anything in the NFC.
The only two teams that are 2-0 in the NFC are the Eagles and the Bucks.
Yeah, and I think
Christian,
everybody's overrating the Eagles right now.
Yes, Loud.
I'm going to go look this up. I wonder what the Super Bowl odds for the Eagles are.
Yeah, well, save your money.
Plus 1,600.
Yeah, let's wait till they play somebody. It's week 3 coming up. I'm going to wait till Jalen Hurts actually plays against a top defense. They haven't played a playoff team yet, Lou. When Jalen Hurts, makes himself look good against a playoff team, I might be a believer. Right now, I'm not buying it. I'm selling it, baby.
We have someone in the comments has a question.
So here's my question. My biggest freaking bet this weekend is these 4 teams. Titans plus 2.5, Raiders. Rocky, on a scale of 1 to 10, what are the chances the Titans cover that 2.5?
Yeah, you know what, man? It looks like a great bet, but Raiders are tough, man. I think they're gonna keep it close. I don't see them just giving up. Tennessee's going to play really well at home. I think that's a pretty good bet. I think I'd probably say on 1 to 10, probably an 80% chance that's a pretty good bet.
Now Buccaneers.
Spread won't matter.
Buccaneers just to win against man bun Aaron Rodgers.
I like the Bucks, and I'll give up a point and a half. I don't mind anything less than a field goal. I like it.
Rams minus 3.5.
Great bet. Great game. Love the Rams in that game. In Arizona. They sweep Arizona this year. They go to Arizona, beat the pants off them. Then Arizona comes to SoFi later, and it's going to be really.
I agree.
I actually think they would beat the skirt off them. Just throwing it out there.
Yeah. Rams need to start making statements, and this is going to be one this week. Statement game for the Rams.
49ers to beat the Broncos.
Blowout. Crazy. It's not going to be close. Jimmy G is going to show why he got all that money. He's taking that team to a Super Bowl and 3 championship games and a Super Bowl.
God, isn't it the weirdest story that we've covered all year?
Yeah.
Jimmy Garoppolo, where's he going to be? Is he going to be in Carolina? Is he going to be in Seattle? Is he going to be in Denver? Is he going to be in this? Blah, blah, blah. And it's almost like he must have had like a voodoo doll of Trey Lance. You know what I mean? To re-sign with that team, less money.
I don't know trade.
I think the 49ers are a huge threat. In the NFC,
they're a much better team now with Jimmy G at the helm than they were with Trey Lance. He stunk it up for 2 weeks, then he got hurt, and nobody in San Francisco is sorry to see Trey Lance go down. I'm sorry, that's a terrible thing to say, but get him out there, man. Jimmy G had no trade clause. He wasn't going nowhere. He signed a team-friendly contract because he knew what was going to happen. He knew sooner or later Trey Lance going to crap the bed.
Okay, so you were saying Jimmy G was watching Trey Lance and going, this kid
I'm going to stick around here. Now they're going to have to really pay him next year. They have to really pay Jimmy G. He was hoping that Trey Lance stayed healthy and stayed upright for at least half the season so they could pull him and then put Jimmy G back in, and then they could talk contract next year because he is in a contract year.
Yes, this is the last year of his contract.
With
incentives, he's set to make more than what he said to pay.
The defense, you know what? The defense, Broncos might not score at all. They might not score at all. They might not score at all. We'll find out how mobile Russell Wilson is today or on Sunday.
I am so excited to see the Lions
Me too.
play against the Vikings.
Yeah.
I am amazed at how many points they're scoring. And I love their coach and I love their culture. Maybe I'm buying in too much, but I just really like what the Lions are doing. And I'm not going to be able to root for the Raiders the rest of this year because they're going to lose tomorrow, and then their season's basically over.
Yeah, I like the Lions to
then,
cover. I think Minnesota wins that game, but it's 6 points. I think the Lions keep it close. I think Minnesota wins by a field goal. But I love the Lions too. I'm a Jared Goff fan. He's not checking down no more, baby. He's throwing the ball.
So our top picks are tonight: Titans beat the Raiders, Buccaneers beat the Packers, Rams beat the Cardinals, 49ers beat the Broncos, and our super dogs are, at least for me, the Lions at the Vikings.
The Fish at home against the Bills. I know they're mammals. I know Dolphins are mammals.
Christian?
I'm sorry, what was it?
Underdog.
What's
My
your super dog?
Super dog. We
You
all
took the
agreed the
Jets.
Chiefs and the Colts. I said the Ravens against the Patriots.
No, you picked the Jets.
Underdog is the Jets versus
Yeah.
Bengals.
Yeah. Our underdog. Yeah. Okay. So our picks of the week are clear.
Our
We all like
super
Kansas City. This week, everybody's pick of the week is Kansas City in Indianapolis. That's the one team you have to bet. The rest of it is all up in the air. Do what you like. I like all of Lou's teams. I think that's pretty. They're all pretty safe. I think Tennessee wins. I don't know.
And we call this lose clues.
Yeah, I don't think Minnesota covers, and I don't think Philadelphia covers against Washington.
All right, guys, got to bail. You,
right.
father and son, work it out. I'm out.
We're going to the powwow, baby.
On the powwow. All right, we
Yeah.
have one question in the comments for you, then we'll head out. Someone
Go ahead.
asked you,
Lou already
Rocky,
quit.
would you trade Leonard Fournette for a 2023 first-round pick?
Not this year. No, they need it. They got no one else. They got Rashad White. They need their running backs. Not this year, no.
Yeah. Not this. Debatable at the end of the season.
Not today. End of the season, different. Let's see where it goes. When they get all the receivers back healthy, Leonard Fournette is getting a little bit long in the tooth, but he's got one good season left. This is not the year to trade him. Not right now, no. Especially when you have no receivers. You need your running game more than ever. Bucks, we're going to run the ball.
Yes. Well, anything you want to say before we end this stream?
Yeah, I'm really happy to be working the show with you, Christian. You're doing a great job producing, very professional. Some of your picks, picking the green slime, you're going to learn a lesson on that one. I warned you about that one. But I think it's a good show. I think we're all going good. Look, Kansas City is the big bet, my big bet this week. If I had to bet a second game, it would be San Francisco. That would be my second pick. All the other underdogs, that's just fun stuff,
All right, everyone. Thank you for listening to Steer the Line. We'll be here next week again from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Pacific time. Make sure to check out all our other videos as well on Steer the Line here. And make sure to go to check Lou out on Winners and Whiners. Thank you guys very much.
I will see you at the powwow.
Yeah.
I'm leaving right now. See you there, buddy.